Hey, welcome back to another WWE Immortals video. Although originally we didn't play it so much because we were thinking it was more of a reskin of Injustice and we didn't really want to work our way through.
Yeah, it was just a lot of time because the time commitment of Injustice was enough by itself.
It's turned out to be quite fun, and I thought this video would be interesting as a demonstration of a principle that we've always espoused about Injustice, is that the gear score isn't nearly as important as just having some gear.
And planning the gear, really.
Right, and planning your team.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is try to demonstrate, I mean the problem with Injustice, demonstrating Injustice, is that we evolved everything just to be complete, and then it's impossible to show how good things can be.
Yeah, the only way we can show less than maximum gear is using a lower star level.
So all these characters are non-challenge. Oh, I gotta recharge him. All these characters are non-challenge characters, and what we're going to show here is, so this is a 2-star gear evolved into or augmented, or actually no, sorry, this is a 3-star gear from the beginning. We haven't augmented it or leveled it up at all. It's basically a damage boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's a 12 points. Oops. Sorry. Thick fingers. He's got his own gear, which is also a damage boost.
But nothing done to it except for having it at 3-star.
And he's got an unblockable chance, which we like, but it's only 10% because we haven't done any leveling up. And we've got one more damage. So we've got him as our basic damage dealer.
And all of these are just base 3-star gears. That's only a 36 gear score for his entire guy.
Alright, so John Cena is a little different, and what's interesting is that a 3-star gear that was evolved from a 2-star gear actually has a much higher score. It's a 40 gear score, and it's got 2 abilities. So a little bit of a damage boost and a crit chance. Another one with a damage boost and a crit chance. It's interesting too. This one is actually better, right? It's a higher percentage on both, even though they're both
exactly the same.
3-star gears, right?
Yeah, they're the same in every other way, but
Same
there's obviously some are just better than others.
And we want to give him his because, as we've always said, a crit boost in this style of game is pretty...
so powerful, yeah.
And it plays into... So we're going to play with him as basically another damage dealer. What's interesting about Immortals is because it's not so unbalanced as far as abilities and, you know, having specials right at once.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty easy to do well without having a tank, because there's no one guy that's going to come in and do a huge amount of damage on you from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
So this is we're working with him as a this is our our signature 2 specialist. So this is the WrestleMania gear that was an exclusive of one of the seasons. So it starts off as 4-star. That's why its gear score is 18, even though we haven't increased its level at all.
Yeah.
So inactive health regen and inactive adrenaline regen increases. Basically, we're going to start with our strategy is going to start with him, build up as much as we can, get off a special 2 if we can, and then swap him out so that we can take advantage of him healing faster and
getting his adrenaline.
Right. And we've got also the WrestleMania, again, another 2-star evolved into 3-star, so we got the second ability, and it's almost as good as the unevolved, unleveled, or I should stop saying unevolved, unaugmented, unleveled WrestleMania gear. Okay?
And so we have a really low gear score compared to the other guys.
Right, so if you look at the guy on the other team, he's got Roman Reigns with 300 gear star, so basically 3 maxed out, right?
Yeah, and we have 36 where he has 300.
Yeah.
He basically has the evolved version of all of ours.
Oh, and he's got an SP1, alright, interesting.
And so 300 where we have 36.
Yeah.
This guy has 250 where we have 70. And for John Cena, he has 183 where we have 92.
Okay, so basically the strategy we're going to go with is, well, I really like playing with Roman Reigns because of his his tap attack does actually more damage than swipe attack.
Yeah.
So swipe attack is 3 hits, his tap attack is 5, but one of them is doubled. And then if you get so that's the same, and if you get the swipe combo finisher, he's actually doing more damage.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Okay.
You just so many hits, and so you also generate energy really fast with that too.
So just like Injustice, MP matches favor the aggressor. So we want to be attacking a lot. Blocking isn't that useful except to get your head hit in.
Because you don't generate energy, there's no, like...
Yeah. although blocking a special is interesting because unlike Injustice, in Immortals, if you block the special, you can get your own special off immediately after.
And they also only get like 1 or 2 hits off. It's like the damage that they do is almost nothing when you block it compared to the potential of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you notice they're dealing more damage per hit, but they're not actually doing much better.
Alright, so I want him to do the special one. Do your special. Because he's actually got a pretty overpowered special too. Does a lot of damage. There we go. And I'll swap him out to let him bring back some of his energy.
And that's a crap ton of hits that we were talking about.
Notice that I think it's the fourth one that does double damage.
Yeah, it's 4.
Now we wait for a special. There we go. Oh, and he's not knocked out.
But almost.
And now if we wanted to go faster, we could probably get John Cena in. And we will if he builds up to special 1. Oops.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, he's not long for this world. Neither are you. Alright, so what you see is a real demonstration of how... Alright, gear is important. The extra ability we get is great. But what we're working with is maybe 3 to 5 abilities on each guy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and our gear scores would be even lower if we hadn't evolved... augmented the other ones, but when you're working with 2 or 3 star gears, they're cheap to augment, and you get really a lot of the benefit just from the augmentation. You don't have to max them out.
We're working somewhere around 200 gear, and we just beat somebody with like
Alright, so now it's
several times as much as
somebody
us.
with 950 gear.
Yeah.
Same team makeup, interesting, right?
So yeah, but the people that we the guys that we just beat, the exact same team as us. The only difference was they were way more geared out and played by a CPU, and we still won.
Right, and that's sort of the point too. The CPU is dumb. The CPU has rhythms and patterns, although they swap out more randomly and chaotically than Injustice.
Yeah, in Injustice they're even more patterned in that way, which is usually the way that makes them most theoretically effective, but also is the kind of worst way.
Don't have a special 2, and he's got his special in, which is a drag. The good thing is the blocking takes...
And now, boom! Bring the hammer down. That was nice, 200%.
Yeah. Well, and one tip, I don't get 200% a lot, but I found that what I do is if I know this, it's a swipe attack, a swipe special, I start swiping in one of the 4 directions immediately.
And then if you get lucky, you get a lot more likely to get 200%, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in general, I like Immortals less than Injustice, but it is fun.
I'm enjoying a lot more.
I like the balancedness of the gear. I think that's a good touch, right?
I also like that there's no but one character really that's so over the top that it really changes how you fight in multiplayer and it makes it impossible. And really, the good thing is it's an egalitarian kind of game. It means that everybody has a chance. If you put in the time, you can really create one team that's really useful, and you don't have to worry that even people who are...
Oh, you should have specialed then.
Yeah, I should have. Block breaker.
Oh!
Knock me out.
You're getting wrecked.
Oh, no. I just like to do the supers every once in a while. What's great is that you don't have to... Even if people are hacking and cheating or whatever, everybody really has a chance. You build up a team, you structure it nicely, and you're gonna have a good chance of doing well in multiplayer.
Yeah. I love that completely meaningless hand gesture as he slams him down. Like he's just shaking his hand at you.
I know. I mean, I guess if we watched wrestling, we probably know that was some sort of a signature move.
So there we go. We had 200 gear score. They have 950. And we won. Exact same team, only difference is gear.
Yeah. Actually, we're just under. We're 198. So
Yeah, but close to 200.
This is funny. We're seeing another team. Usually there's a little bit more variety. We're seeing the exact same team with a 900 gear score. Yeah.
But this is the point that we always do try to prove in Injustice, which is that it's more important having the right gear than it necessarily is having the most evolved gear, which we see with the Batmobile especially, right?
Yeah.
Where just because it's a higher star, just because it's a higher gear score, doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. Though in Ra's al Ghul's dagger, that actually is probably true. That Ra's al Ghul's dagger is a lot better.
I'm not saying it doesn't help, but it doesn't help nearly as much as it seems like it should for how much higher the gear score is. Really, the most important thing is augment it, get that extra ability, and once you've got that, don't worry about spending the money to do all the rest of it, because it's really not necessary.
You only do it. It's kind of like your last objective in Injustice. Once you've fully elited, gotten all the gear scores gear slots unlocked, after you've gotten all the specials unlocked. Same with Immortals, obviously, too. But it's not actually the most important thing to get the gear.
And I will argue,
maxed.
when you max it out, it does make it easier. Things go faster, for sure, and your team is definitely stronger. I know. I'm sort of a little too busy talking.
Trying to talk, not paying as much attention.
Don't want to waste
You
my special
busted your face.
You did. I did not want to waste my special 2 on him.
That's okay, 2 of his guys are knocked out, right?
Oh, just 1.
Oh, that weird kind of half-faded in X bugs me.
We haven't seen John Cena. Let's see if I can get his...
You have seen John Cena.
No, special.
Oh.
I'm going to do too much damage. You know what?
You're gonna have to let him beat up on you if you want to actually
Yeah, but it doesn't generate enough power.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a... It's a funny one where he waves his hand in front of you, and then he tosses the guy in front of the truck to get run over.
Yeah. Who's the guy who does all the dancing and stuff?
Oh, Macho Man.
Macho Man, yeah, he's funny.
Hilarious.
All of his attacks are all rainbow, and then he's dancing and parading.
He's like he's literally like a brony. All right. So
I don't know if bronies have sparkles coming out of their fists all the time, but you know.
Probably not their fists. All right. So now this is weird. I don't think I've had a scene like this.
We're fighting somebody with low gear score though.
Yeah. So doesn't really prove much of a point, but you can see he's level 76, so he's actually pretty decent as far as putting in the time of doing it. Yeah. No. This
might be somebody else trying to prove our point.
Or maybe that's just all he's got. But again, keep in mind, it's so much cheaper evolving 2-star gear into 3, augmenting into 3-star gear, and that's really all you need to be successful at this.
Well, because if you have a 3-star gear, it's only helpful if it's your character specific. Even if you evolve it, you're still only getting 2 abilities.
Now the abilities are better. I mean, you're getting a better percentage of a basic attack boost.
But it's so much more expensive.
The crit chance is good too.
I don't think it scales with the amount it is better and the price difference. It's so much more expensive for it being
totally
not a
agree with you.
huge amount better. It's better, yeah, but not
that's sort of our point, right? That it's cool to get higher gear, but it's not nearly as critical as some people make it out to be.
Boom.
I mean, would I like to have his unblockable thing be at a higher percent? Sure. But, it's not necessary. And again, there's probably some value in being able to finish a fight a lot faster.
Yeah. You know what one problem I do have with Immortals is? It's harder when you want to grind or kill somebody really fast because your specials all focus on one person and wailing on them.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Switch.
Yeah, none of the signature moves seem to be able to...
Because they're all like an animation. You do it once and then it's a big long animation. And where you're kind of throwing them around. And the problem is that in Injustice it's the same thing, but it's also kind of just hitting in their general direction. It's not necessarily like tossing them around and then needing them to be behind you for you to actually hit them and stuff. Like that kind of, where it's more for show animation, where like even when you knock them out, they just keep on getting beaten up like a rag doll until your special ends, right?
Yeah. And this is the last one. Let's see if we get somebody challenging. Level 12. Oh, 100 gears are all in one guy.
So they have.
But we're facing the same team again. That's funny.
They have half as much gear as us.
Okay, so that's not really going to be fair, but I shouldn't speak too soon. We could just as easily screw it up.
Yeah.
But John Cena is interesting. I like it. He's actually pretty good as a backup guy because if
You
you're
should try
that
using
desperate-
John Cena if you like his third special.
I should. All right. Hold
While
on.
the gear is low, right? Well, it doesn't actually matter as much.
I like his ability because when you're desperate and you're down to your last little bit of health, his attack can go up to times 10, and it actually can be enough to change the outcome of the battle.
You should use Cena.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it after I do Triple H.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be.
I do think if you like wrestling that this would actually probably be pretty cool. But it always seems a little bit ridiculous to me just how they're god wrestler hero things.
All right, you see his oops.
Cenaplex.
Yeah, I want to build up to his third special or his signature. And I keep on. I apologize.
Using
for all the
injustice
terms,
terminology, yeah.
because
And even when you talk about the point we're trying to make here, it's all an injustice thing. It's just, that's the game that's first for us, and that's going to probably always be the game that's nearest and dearest to us, as far as these clones go. Right?
that's not a bad thing.
Ooh, is Cena gonna take on Cena? You might want to actually knock him out before you use this third special.
I don't even mind. It's not like we're gonna lose.
Ooh!
Oh, that's bizarre watching him like that.
Yeah.
I've never played it with the sound. Oh.
The running him around all randomly, like when you just ran past him to make him dizzy, always seemed kind of bizarre to me. Like in Injustice, when the Flash runs all the way around the world just to punch a guy once in the chin. You know, terminal velocity can't take that long to reach.
That's actually true.
Especially if the guy is dizzy for the entire time that you're running all the way around the world, right?
Yeah.
So it can only be like a second or two.
So if you haven't played Immortals, you're coming at it because you watch your channel for the Injustice stuff. It's actually not bad, considering the stuff that's not as good, right?
Yeah.
There's less variety of characters, maybe not the people that you recognize, but it's actually kind of fun. It's definitely a little bit more fair. It's hard to be completely outclassed when playing multiplayer.
So if you like Injustice, this will be more of the same. And if the nuances are what's important to you, you'll either like this maybe more for the nuances, or less because of the nuances of the little ways that it's different in playing.
Yeah, so and if you were waiting for our next Injustice video, what we're going to try to do in the next little bit is maintain at least a once a week, every Tuesday schedule for Injustice, which we've been doing for the last little bit, and we figure we can keep it up. We've got a lot of good ideas for what we want to do. And then throw in a few extras in between when we have the time or the inclination to do something different.
Yeah, so every Tuesday for sure, and then other times just kind of hodgepodge if we feel like it, like extra stuff.
Alright, thanks for watching, guys.
Talk to you later. Bye.